Great. So perhaps I'll start introducing myself. So I lead the overall digital business for Republic TV. To start with, a basic introduction about Republic TV. We are the largest news network in India today. We started exactly 2 years back, May 2017. Since then, we've been number one position, that is 105 week, we've been consistently number one position, holding 52% market share of English news consumers on television, right? And we are the first news channel to do break even in 7 months time. That's within the first year. Post that success is where we got into a Hindi news channel that's called Republic Bharat. We launched in February 2019, this year. It's been 3-4 months right now, and within 4 months we got into the second position. That is a position which we've been holding by channels for last more than a decade and a half, right? That's where the television angle of Republic Network. And coming to digital, Republic World look after Hindi and English version of Republic Media Network, right? We are the first video news platform in India and the fastest growing news network, right? Our priority is to reach the user with, now getting into digital, that how do we do that, right? The key 3 aspects what we look at is innovation, expansion, and engagement, right? And for that purpose, again, how we look at that angle is predominantly by giving quality, quantity, as well as the technology. These are the 3 areas which plays a vital role in terms of giving a better experience for the user. I just want to give you highlights of what are the things what we have done in 2018 and what we are planning to do in 2019, right? On the innovation front, we are the first news platform to launch PWA, Progressive Web App, in India, right? The reason why we have stepped to PWA, we have a few slides talking about it and what are the things, how it helped, etc. Second thing on the innovation front is zero buffer policy, thanks to Brightcove support, because with 2 English and Hindi news channels, user can shift between the channels with zero buffering. If you just open up republicworld.com right now, also on the live feed, you can just flip between both the channels in 0 seconds, right? Sorry. Coming to expansion, again, SSAI single source distribution. That is the unique model. What we have introduced is our live feed passing to all the OTTs and different multiple channels. We'll be again talking about it in detail in coming slides. Dynamic ad insertion is where we use it with the help of SSAI. And engagement, part of it, infographics and insights also, I will be talking in detail. In 2019 is very critical for us in 2 aspects. One is within us, on the technology front, we are creating smart CMS. The CMS based on AI with using Python language. We would be creating a platform for our journalists and employees within the platform to write content. Okay, the thing is, it helps the journalist to finish the entire content, as well as the recommendation on the pictures, recommendation on videos, recommendation on past stories automatically. The time they put in the headings, all the recommendation would come automatic. So it's completely an AI-based recommendation engine which would be working behind the CMS. So that would be expected to launch by 3rd quarter of this year, which is going to help us to finish. So usually a journalist would take at least half an hour to finish a story on CMS with selecting the pictures and videos. This would help them to enable it within 8 minutes, is what our expectation is. Right. And other thing is India, the key thing is about languages. So we'll have few slides talking about the language and the penetration towards language as a part of our expansion plan in 2019. And recommendation engine as a part of this. So we'll be getting into one by one right now. On the Progressive Web App, we have launched iOS and Android app earlier, 2018. However, we realized that as a news platform, the consumption of the news is, for example, if I give an example of our traffic, 25% of our traffic come from social, around 30% is through search, rest 15 to 20% is through referrals. So almost around 70-75% of the traffic is coming from different sources, right? We can't be forcing the user with the deep linking. That is only use the app kind of stuff. So we need to give a better experience on mobile web. That is a priority, though user might have an iOS or Android app within the device, right? So mobile web is a priority for us because of the user end up reaching into mobile web end of the day, right? So, and being a video platform, it was very critical for us to give a better experience on mobile web. Hence, the reason is we have developed PWA within ourselves, and it helps. So, key successful for us is it reduced the bounce rate, it increased the video watch minutes at least by 200x. It helps us to get more pages and page views increase because it gives a better experience on the platform overall, right? It's been 8 months we've been using, and it's working really fantastic for us. On the expansion plan, this is something which completely, I would say, an accidental innovation what we have done, right? We realized that we have a live feed, which is exactly the TV feed, which is on digital. The consumption of that on our platform per session per user is average consuming is 22 minutes on through mobile as well as the desktop, right? However, that for us average reach, what we identified is around 1.5 million unique users on a daily basis. And considering the requirement or the necessity in the market, we want to expand the reach to larger audience pool. We realized that, okay, there are two ways to do that. One is through a full-fledged marketing plan. Okay. Other thing is doing a strategic alliance with partnership. Right. Again, it was first, which was never tried before, so we thought it's better to work around and see. We started with OTT platforms, Hotstar being the largest OTT in India. The average reach is 320 million users. Right. That was the first platform we partnered with. And it really helped us in terms of scaling our reach overall. Okay. Based on that is where we partnered with more than 12 platforms today. That is OTT, non-OTT, telco partnerships, and OEMs. So OEM partnership we have done just a month back. Overall, our reach in terms of the unique user reach by all the platform put together is around 300 to 400 million users plus. However, on a daily basis, unique user reach is 20 million for us right now. And average time spent is again at around 7 minutes per user. So this it became a largest case study in India today because this was never been done by any news or entertainment or any of the news channels for that matter. So we are the first one to do that and have unique partnership across all these platforms. Right. This is a very interesting slide which is talking about now as we are planning to increase our user base with multiple digital platforms. This is a comparison between a broadcast as well as the live feed. 9 to 11 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, is a prime time for us where the key debate happens, right? If you look at it, the green color is the digital consumption and the red. So we already surpassed the TV viewership. So TV in India, TV industry is around 290 million household, okay? Average TV viewership in India is around 980 million, right? So considering the viewership in the English viewership, if you look at the green, we already surpassed the viewership on the prime time on digital, right? And very interesting fact around that is we are not eaten up or we are not fighting between the platforms. We're just complementing each other because on television, the age group of viewership is 35 to 60. However, on digital, it's 18 to 35. So we expanded the market by using digital as well as the broadcast put together, right? And so here, the prime time you can see from 9 to 11 is where the key telecast happens. 11 to 1 p.m. is where the repeat happens. And however, on digital, it continues through the VOD. For the next 24 hours, people still consume the same content on digital through VOD. Right. Coming back to the expansion plan for this year is very critical for us in terms of, as we already done Hindi and English successfully, next key thing in India is the language, the regional market, which is about languages, right? And India is a land of languages because just comparison to India is all about Europe because we have different states, we have different culture, we have different festivals, we have different behavior of users, etc. The key languages in India as per recognized is 22 languages and 720 dialects, right? Today, there are 590 million internet users in India, out of which 38% of the users consume regional languages, right? So that there is a huge potential for us to move to, because in next coming years, there will be the next penetration. So currently we have the penetration of internet in India is around 40%, considering the population of 1.3 billion, right? The huge penetration of internet, which is expected to be around 800 to 900 million in next 2 years. will be predominantly from the regional market. Hence, it is really critical for us to move to regional languages right now because that is the way the market is. And we identify the 4 languages which we need to penetrate this year is Marathi, Bengali, Tamil, and Telugu, which put together reaches to 150 million user base reach for us. So when you talk about regional languages, it's not about just penetrating from a Hindi or English language, redubbing into regional language. The consumer, as I mentioned, the consumer behavior as well as the consumption pattern is very different across region. Most of the regional content consumers prefer, that's 70% what they prefer is local flavor content, right? And every state, every city, or every township within India have the local content necessary. So for us to get into each and every language, we have to set up the local offices with the content producing team, local studios, as well as local news providers. So that is how what we are planning to do in each and every region, right? So probably we'll start with Marathi would be happening in next month, where the key areas is first is creating local flavor content. So second thing is national content or videos read up into the local languages, right? And third thing is local engagement or diversified news. That is what we see the key potential to enter to that language. Now getting into engagement side of business, there are 2 areas, 2 things what we have done in 2018 is we have built infographics as a platform to create more content. So look at news as unlike OTT, news content's shelf life is very short. So OTT, when you create a web series, it goes on, people still watch us, like for example, we all know the Friends as a series. In spite of decades, we still prefer to watch Friends as a series, right? But however, the news content, the shelf life is not more than 24 hours. It becomes a stale content, right? So end of the day, we do make 200 to 300 video stories up as a word, still the shelf life for that is only 24 hours. So we need to keep creating more content. Second thing is we need to diversify the content into different formats. So that is the first thing what we experimented was to create infographic videos. This is more of research-based video series, web series kind of stuff, which is very similar to What If. So we take some historic topic and why that particular topic and what is the origin. Like one of the example, India time zone is very different from the global time zone. We have +5.5 GMT, right? Usually it is either +1, +2, -1, -2. Unfortunately, India is very tough to calculate what is the time right now, kind of, right? So in India, what the time is around 2:15 right now. Unlike all other places, it will be at 2:45 or 3:45 or 4:45 kind of stuff. The reason why it is, because it's supposed to be in 2 time zone and they're taken an average of both. Right. So now most of the people doesn't know, so we started creating a content around such topic, which is a part of your daily life, though you haven't noticed that. And these are perennial content. Right. So when you talk about a perennial content, your shelf life is never ending. And that keeps going on because you can refresh the content, so you can post it on social today, after 3 months you can still post it because that content is never gonna die, right? So that helps us to create far more engagement using this formats on news. The other thing what we started as a part of our CMS, which we created, there's a company which we acquired called InVideos. InVideos is a platform or a software which helps us to build video using text and pictures. And we don't need a video editors or graphic designers for the same. A journalist who want to push a quick video can create within the CMS, selecting few relevant images, put text around it, and the beauty of this is it can be built within 8 minutes, right? And it can also support vertical videos because as for our platform, 80% of our traffic is on mobile, and vertical videos gives a fantastic user experience, right? And currently we have the capacity to build 200 such videos on a daily basis. However, by end of next quarter onwards, we would be creating 5,000 videos on a daily basis. And these are short format videos which are used for daily quick news updates, category news updates, weekly wraps, or any kind of instant notifications. Right. These are the key things what we hint for the future that how news as a video on a video platform going to work. It's a combination of technology, it's a combination of integration, it's a combination of where the world is moving to, right? Thank you very much. I'm short of time, so just shutting down. Thanks. Over to you, Woods. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. So glad to get to talk to you today. Channel International. And today, I'll tell you about a couple of process. Take you through the OTT experience for our viewers. Here's some it fills up the entire bed, full-size pickup truck, and then like longer than I am with online video. It's really cool. Involved with this project for the home, and that's why I stay involved. It's a tie-in, but we'll see. For my church. It was amazing. Able to really. Can you guys hear me? Thank you. Test, test. All right. In the 2000s, I created an automated DVD authoring, encoding, and publishing system that was really cool. So with that, I realized something. I'm passionate about delivering video content that has the power to change people's lives. I have a feeling that most of us in this room are passionate about delivering video content. Am I right? That's why we're here. And that's why I've been with Hope Channel for the past 8 years, because I have the opportunity to do that there. So Hope Channel, little background. Multiple long-term medical research studies have shown that people who practice the Seventh-day Adventist lifestyle live on average 7 years longer. That's pretty significant. So what is that? That's whole person health. That's mind, body, spirit. Hope Channel is a nonprofit television network that is affiliated with the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and Adventists are passionate about helping all people achieve that. So Hope Channel is not monetized. We're nonprofit. We broadcast on satellite, cable networks, terrestrial broadcast, and online. We're not SVOD, we're not TVOD, we're free VOD. We are passionate about getting our message out. The other thing is that we are decentralized. I work for Hope Channel International, which is kind of the headquarters, but we have an affiliate model. We've got 50 international affiliates around the world, each creating original content in their local languages and cultures. We don't control them. So we have to kind of lead by example and provide the best of breed services, ideas, and leadership to invite them to come along. This is part of our global leadership team. Many of our affiliate leaders gathered together on the shores of the Dead Sea recently to get together and strategize about these kinds of things. So we had a problem with our OTT platform. The problem was fragmentation, and we were seeing it in two different manifestations. One was within our apps. The UX across our app platforms was totally different. We were on 4 different platforms, and we only controlled one of them. So that was a big problem. We are also fragmented across our affiliates because we don't control our affiliates. Not all of them had adopted the app platform, and in fact, some of them had gone out and created their own. So now we've got all of these things called Hope Channel littering up the app stores, you know, diluting the brand, diluting viewership. So that's a problem. So when you've got fragmentation, what would you do if you had this problem? Well, we realized we needed to unify our apps with a consistent UX across all of the platforms that we support, and unified management structure so that you go to one place and you can manage the whole system. We also needed to unify our affiliates, and this is a more, you know, because we don't control them, this is difficult to pull off strategically. So we realized that we needed to make this single global app behave as though it was a first-party app in every territory that it was in, so that each, the leadership of each territory could market this app in their territory as if it was their own. And we needed to support more device platforms so that individual affiliates wouldn't say, hey, you know, we want to be on this platform, I guess we'll have to develop it ourselves. So those were our goals. As you can imagine, with 50 affiliates, that's up to 50 different video catalogs. There's a lot of complexity there in developing a single app that's going to manage all of this. So we couldn't use an off-the-shelf video platform. We needed a really sophisticated algorithm to select for the user the most relevant Hope Channel affiliate given that user's location and language. And we worked with Brightco's global services team, and they did a fantastic job. It took us pretty much all of last year to do it. So developing this many platforms, it was a complex job, and it required a lot of decision making on my part. I'm a team of one. But the BGS team did a phenomenal job. We launched on time and on budget, and that's pretty remarkable. So we're really happy. So this is what the apps look like. This is our TV app for Roku. So it's detected that I'm in North America. I speak English, so it has selected Hope Channel North America as the most appropriate affiliate for me. It's launched directly into our live stream, so it's a really TV-like experience. Down at the bottom, we have this bar where you can select, you can flip through all of the different channels, and that channel list is ordered in priority order based on my language and location. So I can have this real TV-like experience flipping through channels. If we go to the featured screen, we got this big, beautiful hero content, and each affiliate can control this screen entirely. They can choose what content that they want there. The show screen, just a fast way to get to all of our shows, and then this is probably one of my favorite features. Each show, we built the ability to have custom branding for each show. So this is Hope Sabbath School. It's one of our most popular shows. The colors, the background, everything is customized. This is another one of our shows, Inverse. Background colors, all customized. And if you were to go to hopetv.org to the websites for these shows, you would see the same branding flows across. So it does a really good job of building a strong brand for these shows. This is the schedule screen, so you can browse the broadcast schedule of the affiliate. And you know, if you're looking 2 days from now at 6 p.m. and, hey, I'd really like to watch that show, if it's available for VOD, you can just click on it and watch it right then. This is what it looks like on mobile. So we're really happy. We launched in October and November of 2018, and our users are delighted. Our mobile weekly active users have more than doubled, and our average session duration on the Roku app has gone from minutes to over an hour. So we're really happy about that. And our affiliates are starting to come on board. So we think we're in a really good place. So what did we learn? I'd like to point out two really important things that we learned in this process. One is funding follows vision. And speaking as a nonprofit, that's really important for us, especially because this platform is not monetized. It was a big risk for us to build an expensive platform that doesn't have any kind of inherent built-in funding mechanism to pay for itself. But what we found was that the vision for this so inspired some of our major donors that they stepped in and funded it almost entirely, and we actually had not been expecting that. The other thing is absorb complexity so that your users don't have to. You know, it's really hard to do that, to take something that's complex and make it simple for your users. But we have chosen at every step of the way, let's absorb that complexity. It makes it more difficult for us in the short run, but it makes it a lot better for our users in the long run. It's really hard to make things simple, but the payoff is huge. So what is that payoff? Well, for Hope Channel, we feel like the stakes are really high. You know, our content, we believe, has the power to change lives. You know, maybe it could save your marriage. It could save you from a heart attack. It could save your daughter from depression. You know, these are all things that our content addresses. And we hear stories all the time from people whose lives have been changed. This one hit me recently, and I wanted to share it with you. Francisco was a father of 2 sons. I have 2 kids of my own, so it really resonated with me. One day, Francisco received a phone call and learned that both of his children had been killed in a car accident. And then just a few months later, his wife, just overcome with sadness from this incident, also passed away. So within just a few months, he lost his entire family. Can you imagine? His life spiraled out of control. He got deep into the drug world, hard drugs, everything. Then one day he was sitting on his couch. He stumbled across Hope Channel. And the speaker speaking at that time said, "Hey, you there on the couch, sitting on the couch about to smoke some drugs. Yeah, you. Come up close to the TV screen." And the speaker says, "You can be free of your addiction right now." Long story short, Francisco says, "I am a living miracle. I'm free from all addictions. If it was not for Hope Channel, I don't think I would be alive today." So we hear these kinds of stories all the time. They're what push us to continue. They're what's going to keep us moving forward. They're why we exist. But everyone in this room, we all have this passion for online video. We all have a different why. What's your why? What is that why? Discover it, define it really well, and then lean into that with all your might. I invite you to check out hopetv.org, and the answer to the "what about dinosaurs" question is I'm super stoked. This fall, Hope Channel is launching a documentary series on that very project that I've been involved with for the past 19 years, airing this fall on Hope Channel, so check it out.
So question time. And does anybody have any questions for Justin or Varun? I'll come bring the mic to you, or Sarah will, or one of us will. No questions in the room? Over there.
I'm from Brightcove, disclaimer, and Justin's also my client, disclaimer.
Hi, Caitlin.
Just hello, excellent job. My biggest thing is that we have a lot of clients that are always trying to explore which applications are most meaningful to launch into first, because there is such a realm. So there's 7 that you're supporting. But if you had to give your opinion, what would you say is the first one to invest in and why?
Great question. For us, it's clearly the mobile apps, iOS and Android, followed by Roku, and then all of the rest of the TV apps. Android, for us, because we have such a strong international presence, is by far the most used. If you look at just North America, then it's going to be iOS.
Awesome, thank you.
Any more questions? All right, thank you.